It's only been a few weeks since we moved into the new place, and Melinda has gone off on a business trip and left me for a few days to unpack by myself. And I was going through the new studio, and I came across a box, and I had the box cutter, and I was just kind of in a robot mode, and I was ripping things open. And I came across these. They are pop vinyls and mighty mugs. I don't discuss modern stuff very much on the channel, as you guys know, and I often don't do videos except Q&As or panel presentations where I'm not scripted. Well, the restorations aren't scripted either, but you know what I mean. Most of the time when I talk about something specific that's not in a repair how-to, I tend to put my thoughts down on paper and then deliver them that way. So I hope you'll forgive me for this unplugged RetroBlasting video, but I was just going through the studio, as I said, and I came across these things, none of which I bought myself. They were all given to me or donated by various friends, family, people that just knew I was into pop culture and they thought I would like these. I've gotten some questions on the channel, on YouTube and things about, do I collect these? What do I think of them? So I thought, well, now's as good a time as ever to tell you what I think. I think they suck. I think they are pure marketing trash. I don't see any soul in them at all. They are not aimed at kids. They are aimed purely at adults, and they are aimed purely at our nostalgia center. They are aimed at our wallet. And I know that the jaded person will say, well, all toys are aimed at your wallet. And that's true. But at least toys that were meant to be toys serve a function. These are just marketing run amok. There's nothing to them. I remember when the Mighty Mugs came out a few years ago, and I think it started with the Star Wars line. And, this is the same mold, just with a different paint job on it over and over and over again. It's the same buck with a different paint scheme. And then, of course, in this case, they gave him a cutesy hat and whip because he's Indiana Jones. But in reality, he's just the same vinyl piece of crap over and over and over again. Now, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, like a diehard, I collect everything Indiana Jones and only Indiana Jones, then I could see picking up the Indiana Jones line of these if you're a completist. I wouldn't recommend it, but I can see you doing it. Like, I can get there in my head. I can't see someone collecting just Mighty Mugs. I'm not trying to judge anybody. I think that if you collect Mighty Mugs and that's all you collect and you've got the whole run, then I really hope that they jazz you and that you're happy with them. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I really do. But they weren't meant to be played with. They weren't meant to serve a function. They were right out of the box, they're dust catchers. They don't replicate anything from the film exactly. And the worst part is they glorify the fact that they're all made from the same figure on the logo. We're making the same figure over and over again. Hope you enjoy the new paint schemes, which are probably all plugged into a computer and just auto-wrapped digitally around each one of these stupid products. God, the Mighty Mugs are the worst. Like, they really are. Mighty Mugs are the worst. And then they were followed up very quickly by the pop vinyl sensation, which has blown up. I read an article the other day that said that pop vinyls are now the 21st century Beanie Baby. And I believe it. I don't have the hate for pop vinyls that I do for Mighty Mugs by a narrow margin. The only reason being is that pop vinyls, you look at them, there is some unique sculpting. They all have the same style, but the details are unique. They're uniquely sculpted to each figurine. And so for that reason, I have to give it a slight nod to artistry. Some would argue that the Mighty Mugs each have a different, paint application on them, but there's no sculpting to them. It's just the same cloned thing. It reminds me of, Professor Farnsworth from Futurama when, Fry wants Lucy Liu and he grabs a blank robot from a big disc box and he, shoves it. That's what Mighty Mugs are. It's just a blank Futurama robot that's had a program put over it, and it's either Indiana Jones or, whoever, Boba Fett, whoever's on the stupid thing. At least with the pop vinyls, they're putting out a little bit more effort to say this is a unique character. Again, not action figures. They're not toys. They don't have any play value. They don't have any purpose built into them. They're just pure marketing for nostalgia. I'm not into the fact that they all have, shark eyes. That look doesn't really do it for me. Some people have given me a few, the Back to the Future one. Melinda got these Rocky ones from a friend of ours. I mean, I guess if you're like a Rocky collector, like I said, or a Back to the Future collector, it's okay to go out and get the few in the line that you need. But I see people collecting these. They collect them like they're something. It's like, oh, pop vinyls are the thing. That's like my thing. And I'm thinking, well, I can see a detour. If you're a Star Wars guy and you're a completist Star Wars guy and you want all the Star Wars pop vinyls as well, I think it's a useless exercise, but go for it. I mean, because that's part of your focus. It's part of your interest. But if you're into Star Wars, you're into Marvel, you're into Star Trek, you're into Voltron, you're into Indiana Jones, you're into Back to the Future, you're into Rocky, you're into pop culture, like a lot of people here are, myself at RetroBlasting and a lot of the audience of RetroBlasting, we are pop culture connoisseurs. I know what it's like to go down that rabbit hole. I know what it's like to suddenly see a new product line that's branching off into all these different things I'm interested in, and you find yourself collecting a bunch of them. I went through that, a few years ago, and then I finally said, you know what? I can't do this, not unless it is, a purpose-driven piece of true artistry or it's something vintage from the time. I can understand why people buy the Hot Toys and the Sideshow toys. If I wasn't running a vintage toy channel, I'd probably have a few of those myself. They are beautiful works of art. The Christopher Reeve Superman one, the recent Michael J. Fox Back to the Future one, they are brilliant. The Batman ones. I'm not going to sit here and even try to put these in the same category with Sideshow and Hot Toys. I'm saying they're not. And as such, even though Hot Toys and Sideshow are targeted at adults, they're targeted at adults with a little bit of dignity. It's like, this is a premium price format figure, and it is beautifully sculpted and engineered, and it is complete with all the accessories you could conceive of for that version of that character in that film. This is not that. This never will be that. So if you want to bleed your wallet buying these, then by all means go ahead, but not me. I've had offers from, different loot crates, type things to market on RetroBlasting, and they would send me, a box every month that would have a pile of random junk in it, and one of them would be, one of these pop vinyls. These various loot crate style services try to court you as a YouTube channel, and then they say, well, every now and then you'll get a pop vinyl in there, and I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I don't want one of these. I wouldn't want another one of these as long as I lived. I don't care if I ever see any of these again. This isn't even a blip on my radar. And I know I'm ranting. I'm sorry, but it's a crass way for these companies to just make money. I mean, at least Funko Reaction, at least they're actually replicating action figures from the 70s and 80s. They have movable joints and they got card art and all this kind of stuff. This isn't worth it. And I'm about to talk over myself, so I'm going to sign off with that. But you wanted my opinion on Mighty Mugs and pop vinyls. If you collect them, I would say collect them in a very limited, focused fashion for your interest if you just have to have them. But if there's even a part of you that says, you know what, I don't think I need this, listen to that part and walk away. Don't support this kind of just blah merchandising. I mean, this is just merchandising for the sake of merchandising. You wonder why other toy companies' prices are going up because plastic is getting more expensive? This is the reason right here. Companies like this are wasting plastic that could be used for actual legitimate product, and they're pumping this crap out.